Assisted Living Center in Keokuk is seeing fewer falls and improved memory in patients since the launch of their latest program.
WGEM's Shakayla McCamick reports on the changes family members are seeing in their loved ones at River Hills Village.
Todd Marshall's mom, Maxine, has been with River Hills Village in Keokuk for 4 years. Marshall says 92-year-old Maxine will finish her life at River Hills, and he wants to make sure she receives the best physical and educational care as possible. That's why he signed her up for the facility's newest memory care program, Memory Lane.
It's wonderful here. You can see they got games that helps their memory.
Before starting the program, residents go through testing to determine what level of care they need. Based on that test, they're assigned different games and puzzles to exercise the mind.
Alphabet games, puzzles, some stitching games over there too. It just keeps her mind active.
Wendy Kelly's mother, Midge, has a hard time with short-term memory. Kelly says River Hills Village staff are proactive in alerting her what progressions and setbacks her mom faces under the new program.
If there's a problem, they call you right away, and if I have a question, they answer it pretty much right on the spot as soon as they can find out from the doctor and that. So yeah, they're very cooperative.
Since launching the new program, memory care specialist Brenda Eston says the falls for residents have decreased while appetite has increased. Along with specialized brain exercises for residents, Memory Lane features bold toilet seat colors and an accent wall in each bathroom to prevent falls. Old plates and bowls were also replaced with red ones to increase appetite.
We have no more weight loss back here. The red plates, red cups, red bowls have helped tremendously with their appetites. We've had a few that are snacking now that never snacked before.
Shakayla McCamick, WGEM News, Keokuk.
And River Hills Village staff say Memory Lane is at capacity with 20 residents right now. You can go to WGEM.com to find out how you can get your loved one on the waiting list.